On Life in the Park this week, the old Novartis Nestle plant reemerges as a vibrant Westside Center in the park. Mayor Spano gives us a state of the city, plus much more on Life in the Park.
Welcome to this week's edition of Life in the Park. I'm Scott Smith. In this week's cover story, Mayor Spano presented his inaugural State of the City, and Park TV tiptoed over to Steel Toe Brewing to get a taste. That's coming up. But first, here's the latest news and events in the park. The sweet smell of success in St. Louis Park used to come from the Nestle Ovaltine plant. That sweet smell returned, figuratively, with the old factory's reopening as Westside Center, a multi-use industrial and commercial hub. Minneapolis-based Hillcrest Development bought the 280,000 square foot complex 2 years ago after its most recent owner, Nestle, closed the factory and eliminated about 250 jobs. After an extensive renovation, the complex is now 96% leased, housing 12 different companies and more than 400 employees. Mayor Jake Spano said renovation and repurposing is a crucial growth strategy in mature suburbs like St. Louis Park. In addition, Spano said the city sought a more local economic model for the development, one that wouldn't leave its future at the mercy of a single multinational corporation. That's been fulfilled with a roster of local firms across a variety of businesses. To take this vacant, blighted site and transform it is really something special, the Met Council's Gail Dorfman stated. The Met Council provided grant money for asbestos, lead, and soil cleanup. The site, located along the Cedar Lake Regional Trail and near the growing West End Shopping and Entertainment District, fits neatly into an interconnected lifestyle. Regional and local officials at the opening ceremony promised to work on making the site more easily accessible for public transit users and others who don't travel by car. The complex includes a bike center with bike lockers and shower facilities. Commercial printer Japs Olson, one of the largest employers in St. Louis Park, has wanted to expand its facility for more than a year, but the plan was complicated by the facility's location up against the Hopkins border. So a swap deal between the two cities will clear the way for a 192,000 square foot addition by Japs Olson, which says it plans to hire 150 employees once the expansion is complete. The deal's been in the works since last February, when officials in both cities began talking about a land swap that would let the printer build in addition to its existing 510,000 square foot plant along Excelsior Boulevard. The size and configuration of the company's equipment meant that if it wanted to grow, it had to stretch into Hopkins. Hopkins wanted to keep more of its land for non-industrial use, though it wasn't opposed to the expansion in principle. So Hopkins gave the 2 acres Japs Olson needed to St. Louis Park, and St. Louis Park gave Hopkins 5 acres of land near Powell Road. It's almost here. STEP's annual Empty Bowls event at Westwood Lutheran Church on Thursday, March 10th. The event is an opportunity for all ages in our community to come together for a simple meal of soup and bread provided by local restaurants for lunch or dinner and support efforts to eliminate hunger in St. Louis Park. Lunch will be served from 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. and dinner from 4:30 to 7 p.m. The event will include music, entertainment, and children's activities. Participants will receive a handmade pottery bowl to take home as a reminder of empty bowls in our community. No tickets or reservations are required. A free-will donation will benefit the programs of the St. Louis Park Emergency Program. Again, Empty Bowls will take place Thursday, March 10th at Westwood Lutheran Church, 9001 Cedar Lake Road in the park. Well, Empty Bowls takes care of lunch and dinner. How about a hearty breakfast at the 59th Annual St. Louis Park Lions Club Pancake and Sausage Breakfast? That takes place Sunday, March 20th from 7:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the St. Louis Park Middle School, 2025 Texas Avenue South. There will be door prizes given away every 30 minutes. All proceeds to be returned to the community through Lions-sponsored service projects. Aldersgate United Methodist Church is in their 26th year of producing community theater with an interest in conveying stories through musical theater with the opportunity to involve all children and adults that want to take part. This year, their production is Whistle Down the Wind, which conveys a great story of children's hope, imagination, and optimism. Several performances are scheduled at Aldersgate United Methodist Church, 3801 Wooddale Avenue South in the park. 7 p.m. performances are March 4th, 5th, 11th, and 12th, with 3 p.m. matinees Sunday, March 6th and 11th. Spaghetti dinners are offered on both matinee Sundays right after the performance. In partnership with Accountability Minnesota, Community Action Partnership of Suburban Hennepin will be offering free tax preparation and e-file services to individuals with an annual income of $35,000 or less and families with an annual income of $45,000 or less. For more information and to schedule an appointment, call 952-697-1414. And the City of St. Louis Park is currently seeking interested residents to serve on the Charter Commission. The mission of the commission is to evaluate and propose changes which may be warranted in the city home rule charter as provided by state statute. The commission also monitors legislative activities on an ongoing basis. Interested individuals should submit a completed application by March 11th to City of St. Louis Park City Clerk's Office, 5005 Minnetonka Boulevard, St. Louis Park, Minnesota, 55416. For further information or to request an application, please contact the City Clerk's Office at 952-928-2840 or visit the city's website at stlouispark.org/boards-commissions.html. Application deadline is March 11th this year. Well, the city has several new employment opportunities available right now, as well as a variety of summer positions. You may view all of the full job descriptions and apply online at stlouispark.org/employment.html. The City of St. Louis Park is once again offering trees for sale at discounted prices. Each resident may purchase up to 3 trees for just $35 each. Trees are ordered through the city's program partner Tree Trust and will be offered while supplies last on a first-come, first-served basis for St. Louis Park property owners only. You can select between 9 different tree varieties this year. For more detailed information, go to treetrust.org/getatree/SLP tree sale. The Recycling Association of Minnesota, or RAM, has partnered with the City of St. Louis Park to provide rain barrels, compost bins, and kitchen compost pails at a discounted price to the public throughout the spring of 2016. You must pre-order online through the RAM website, recycleminnesota.org. For questions about products and prices, call RAM at 651-641-4589 or their website, recycleminnesota.org. Well, this week's cover story, the City of St. Louis Park and the Twin West Chamber of Commerce presented the 2016 State of the City Monday, February 29th at Steel Toe Brewing. Here's just a taste.
I get a lot of people who ask me, how's the job going? And I always tell them 2 things. It's a lot busier than I thought. And I haven't screwed anything up in the first 2 months, but I've got 3 years and 10 months to do it, so I'm sure I'll get around to that. Today's event, I hope, is not one of them, and certainly from what I've heard from picking the location and the time, people are very, very pleased, and I think the attendance bears that out. So thank you all for coming. Today's event sort of represents a first in many ways for the City of St. Louis Park. This is the first time we've done this address on a leap day. Yes, this is the first time we've held it in the afternoon. And I think that means a lot more of our neighbors are able to attend. And this is definitely the first time we've ever held this in a brewery.
We want to particularly thank the City of St. Louis Park for its leadership and support over the years for the proposed Southwest Light Rail line that will run from Minneapolis through St. Louis Park to Eden Prairie. So, yes, definitely. Southwest Light Rail Transit will mean future economic growth and job creation in the corridor, along with improved transit options to connect businesses with workers. I'd like to thank Mayor Jake Spano, the City of St. Louis, or the St. Louis Park City Council and City Manager Tom Harmoning for their leadership and the great partnership shared with the Twin West Chamber of Commerce. Thank you. Thanks very much.
I also want to thank Jason Schoeneman, who owns this brewery and has been a great asset to the city. Jason and I go back a long time because when I was first running, I said to him at one point, Jason, let's have the victory party at your brewery. And he said, I can't do that. Why not? He's like, city ordinance won't allow it. And I said, check. I think that was something Steve and I, when we got into the council, we were like, oh, no. That's got to change. So, Jason, why don't you come on up and share a few words? Thank you for doing that.
Well, welcome everybody. It's wow, what a turnout! This is I think a testament to the community and all the support we receive from everybody, and just how happy we are to be in St. Louis Park.
How do we integrate change in a way that reinforces our culture and identity? How do we maintain our community as a desirable place to live? We do this not by constructing buildings or implementing new programming or passing policies. Those are the tools that are used to impart our values. Our values come from the process of defining those buildings and those programs and those policies. And you've heard some of my colleagues talk about it already tonight. And that is our public process. Because people are what make the park, not places. This city could exist anywhere. What makes us unique, what made Jason pick this place is all of you. Location has a great deal to do with it in terms of business and commerce, don't get me wrong. But we're the reason that people come here, not because of buildings, not because of the house, necessarily. So sometimes in the public process we succeed, sometimes we fail, but we are always working to make it better. And I just want to remind people that, and Steve has said this before, and and I'm always glad that he says this, just because we didn't agree with you on a decision doesn't mean that we didn't listen to you. This feedback and input is valuable, and it is just like some of these development projects where they come in one way, but through the input of the community and the council, they come out a different way that better serves our community. So, with that, if you still have beer left in your glass, let's raise a glass. Oh, groan. Well, I got a drink. I don't know about y'all, but... And in the words of my ancestors, sláinte.
You can watch the entire St. Louis Park State of the City on demand at parktv.org. Or remember, you can keep up to date in the park by visiting our Facebook page at facebook.com/St. Louis Park, or check us out on Twitter at twitter.com/St. Louis Park. So that's it for this week's edition of Life in the Park. Thanks for watching. A programming note: our show is moving to a new schedule every other week, and our next show will be on March 17th. Join us then for another edition of Life in the Park, right here on Park TV.